In the winter, I often get cravings for fresh salads, but things like spring mix and lettuce really aren't in season in the winter. Even though you can find them in the supermarket year-round, it's really not in season and they're not at their best. So I like to make salads of different vegetables during the winter, and I want to show you one of my favorites today. It's a crunchy, delicious combination of thinly sliced fennel, celery, apples, thinly sliced radishes, and pomegranate seeds. And it might sound a little weird to you, but I tried it at a party just the other day and people loved it. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I take a fennel bulb. This is for about 2 people. You could do a much larger salad, obviously, but I'm just trying to make a small amount today because it's just me and my friend. So I start out with a fennel bulb and I pull off the fronds. These are these feathery leaves of the fennel because we're going to use this in the salad too. And then I cut off the top of the bulb because these stalks, while they have a lot of flavor and they are edible, they can be a little bit chewy and a little bit fibrous, and so I like to use them for flavoring soup bases and stuff instead of in my salad. I take my fennel and I cut the bulb in half lengthwise, and then I just start shaving it really thinly with my knife. And you really want thin pieces that you can almost see through. And fennel's really beautiful when you cut it this way. You can see all of the different structures of the bulb, and it makes a really nice presentation, and it's not a way that everyone eats fennel all the time. If you have a mandolin, this is also a great way to use a mandolin. It takes a lot less time. I actually have one, but you know, of course I store it in a totally inaccessible place, so it's not easy for me to just grab it and make a salad. So I'm going to cut up this entire bulb, and then we'll move on with the rest of our salad. And it's important you get the slices really thin because thickly sliced fennel, when it's raw, will seem a little bit overwhelming, but thinly sliced with all the other vegetables, it'll really blend the flavors really well. Alright, now that I've sliced my fennel bulb super thin, you want it thin enough to see light through. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to a bowl. And then on top of it, I'm going to add 2 stalks of very thinly sliced celery. I've sliced it horizontally, as you can see, and I've tried to slice it just as thin as the fennel. It might be a little bit thicker, but really the idea of this salad is that you want a bunch of thinly sliced pieces of vegetable that will still be very crunchy, because celery and fennel both have that body to be crunchy, yet they're not going to be overwhelmingly crunchy. You're not going to have to chew away because they're thinly sliced, and so they're delicate enough to chew easily. So 2 stalks of celery, 1 bulb of fennel, 1 medium-sized thinly sliced, again, Gala apple. And here I've got about 4 or 5 thinly sliced radishes, which I've actually halved and then sliced into half moons. And I'm going to squeeze onto this the juice of half a lemon, doing it through my hand so I can avoid getting all of the seeds into the salad. And I'm going to throw in the fennel fronds. These add lovely color, and they also add just a nice texture and sort of visual appeal. And add a pinch or 2 of salt. I'm using kosher salt, so it looks like a lot, but really it's not that much because the grains are so much bigger. And drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm also going to throw in about a 1/4 cup of pomegranate seeds. These also give great color and some nice juiciness. And then you just toss this up. Don't be afraid to use your hands. As long as they're clean, they're the best way to toss any salad. You also want to add a few grinds of pepper. I gotta grab my pepper mill. Actually, many grinds of pepper. Just one more time. And then you want to taste it for seasoning. Grab a little slice of celery, a slice of apple, and a slice of fennel, and a slice of radish together, and pop them into your mouth and see if there's enough lemon juice and salt to balance it out. It's good. It's really crunchy, it's sweet, and yet a little bit earthy and really refreshing. And it's a great way to brighten up a winter meal without having to rely on the same old spring mix every time. Another great thing about the salad is that you can dress it a little bit ahead of time because the vegetables are hardy enough to hold up to the dressing and they won't wilt like lettuce does. You don't want to keep it for hours, but at the same time, half an hour, 40 minutes before you serve it, it'll be just fine.